They blasted the song Gerardo on 8-track all the way to the store and all the way home. Back at the house, Courtney Cute watched as her brother untied the clear plastic bag that contained the fish and dumped them into the tank. Brother and sister stood around the tank for a moment, watching the new arrivals settle into their new home. "Shit," Courtney Cute said, a pout frown pulling across her uber-cute face. "That angelfish is alive." Waiata grimaced. His sister was right. The angelfish was alive. It was actually swimming. "Damn it," he said. "Those assholes sold us a living fish." Their aquarium was filled with dozens of dead fish in various stages of decomposition, many of them lying on the pink gravel bottom like little sunken ships, others floating on the surface, buoyed by the current created by the bubbling filter, most of them little more than skeletons. But now that homogeneity of fishy death was tainted by the presence of a perfectly healthy, agile, swimming angelfish. Courtney Cute began to cry, was about to threaten her brother with allegations of rape if he didn't rectify the situation right away. Waiata reached beneath the aquarium stand, grabbed the fish net. "Don't be a baby," he said. "We'll take the angelfish back to the store. They'll give us a refund, or let us have another fish of the same value, as long as we bring this one back within a week." "We'll bring it back right now," Courtney Cute ordered. On the way back to the pet store, they blasted Gerardo on 8-track in the car again. It was the only song they ever listened to. The lyrics and tune to the song were as follows. Ahem. Gerardo, Eduardo, Ricardo, everyone loves Gerardo. Yo, Gerardo, my nigga. Yo, Gerardo on the motherfucking trigger. Everyone loves Gerardo. Baby juggalos and bronies, all the busters and the homies. Everyone loves Gerardo. These lyrics repeated 78 times before the song ended in a fade-out. Anyhow, back at the pet store, the woman working the register held up the bagged angelfish to examine it. "Yup, this fish is alive, all right. Do you want a refund or do you want another fish?" To the right of the register was the fish section, 2 long walls of stacked fish tanks holding thousands upon thousands of dead tropical cold water and saltwater fish. "I want a dead angelfish, you fat, white trash minimum wage slut," a frowning, arms crossed, Courtney Cute demanded of the store employee. "No problem, little poppets," the woman said, expertly ignoring the girl's inexcusable impoliteness. She untied the bag, reached in, and deftly snagged the angelfish, squeezed the life out of it in about 2 seconds. She then tied the bag up again. "There you go, little poppet," she said with a wink and a smile as she handed the bag back to Courtney Cute. A quick note on Courtney Cute's cuteness. Courtney Cute, with her dark pigtails, big blue doe eyes, button nose, rosebud lips, and chubby cartoon cheeks, was so damn cute that some people just couldn't take it. Many people literally died when they set eyes on her. The girl's mega cuteness causing bodies to crumble and melt and even explode sometimes. Case in point. Just as Waiata and Courtney Cute exited the pet store that day, they nearly ran into a sweet old lady out on the sidewalk who was about to go in to buy food for her cats. Wide-eyed and frozen in place, the woman clapped her hands together, grinning ear to ear, and leaned down towards the little girl. "Oh my God, what a darling child you are," the woman effused. "You are just so cute." With that, the old lady dropped to her knees, her eyes boiling and running out of her eye sockets, blood and brains jetting out of her ear holes and nostrils as her skull imploded from the cuteness. The rest of her body slumped onto the sidewalk. The girl and her brother stepped over the corpse and headed for the car. They listened to Gerardo again on the way back home. Blasted the shit. Back at the house, after they transferred the dead angelfish to the tank and stood around admiring its still floating form for a moment, Courtney Cute said, "I'm hungry. I want pizza." "Okay," Wyatta said as he yanked out his celly to call Pizza Hut. "The usual?" "Yes," the little girl said, affecting a lisp. The usual was one extra-large pizza with a head of fetal ventriloquist dolls on one half and a surprise topping on the other half. The surprise toppings offered by Pizza Hut were different each time. One day you might get pepperoni, the next day you might get sautéed seahorses or pickled manatee eyes. Courtney Cute loved ordering surprise toppings. It was fun and suspenseful, and it reminded her of opening Christmas presents and birthday presents and Cracker Jack boxes. About 20 minutes later, the pizza delivery man showed up at the front door with an extra high box, apparently to accommodate the rather large surprise topping that awaited within. "I want to open it," Courtney Cute said as her brother set the white box on the coffee table in the living room. She always insisted on opening the pizza box. "Holy shit, it's your head!" the girl exclaimed when she flipped up the lid. One half of the greasy pizza was studded with standard, racquetball-sized, fetal ventriloquist doll heads, but resting on the other half was none other than her brother's missing, decapitated head. Wyatta had been missing his head for a couple months now. Someone had broken into their house one night and decapitated him in his sleep and then took off with the prize. Wyatta went forthwith to see a doctor the next morning as soon as he realized he was headless. The doctor prescribed him a box of My Little Pony Band-Aids, told him to stick about 10 of them all over his raw, meaty neck stump, said that should help. Wyatta didn't have health insurance to cover the $1,000 price tag of that box of prescription My Little Pony Band-Aids, but luckily he had made a killing at a brony convention he had attended a few weeks prior, selling hundreds of vintage My Little Ponies and earning $1,782. All things considered, the teenager had been getting by surprisingly well without a head. A pair of exposed cord-like nerves stuck out from his neck stump to function as effective sight organs, while another set of exposed stump nerves served as perfectly good ears. To listen to his 8-track Walkman, Wyatta simply had to fasten his headphones onto his stump. "Yeah, that's my head all right," he said, the frayed esophageal tube of his neck hole opening and closing like a sphincter to form the perfectly articulated words. The headless teenage brony then went to the kitchen, grabbed a couple paper plates, poured 2 cups of Pepsi for him and his sister, and returned to the living room. They sat on the couch and ate. In order for Wyatta to accomplish this task, he had to first pull apart his pizza in his hands and then stuff the small chunks down into his neck hole. "Hey, I have an idea," Courtney Cute said. "Take a fetal ventriloquist doll head and wedge it in your neck hole, but don't push it in too far. Just let it sit there so you look like you have a really small head, like that shrunken head guy in Beetlejuice. But I won't be able to breathe if I do that." "If you don't do it, I'll call child services and the police and the FBI and the CIA and the Army and the Air Force, and I'll tell them that you—" All right, you spoiled little brats. I'll do it, jeez." Wyatta did as his sister asked. Courtney Cute burst into a fit of giggles. "Hee hee, ha ha, tee hee. You sure do look funny now, big brother. Tee hee 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 hee." She then picked up Wyatta's baked, blackened head from the pizza box and set it on her paper plate, in between bites of her brother's greasy face. The child continued giggling long after Wyatta's oxygen-starved body ceased convulsing, defecating, and urinating on the couch beside her. Then, one of the more severely decomposed fish corpses in the fish tank — it was little more than a sliver of flaky white necrotic tissue, really — poked what remained of its head out of the water, and said, "And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling, failed back-alley abortions." Dun, 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 dun. The end.